Pete, I thought Pete was coming on tonight.
I thought Pete was going to be here too, but I don't know. No Pete. Rush. What is up, you bunch of deplorable, racist extremists and bigots out there? Welcome back to the Angery Nation Podcast. It's your favorite Angery American. And tonight we're down one. We don't have Mr. Donnie Dunn. He's doing something with his lovely daughter. But we do have the always fabulous Mr. Seaux Larreau. How you doing, Sue?
Good.
Coming off his birthday high right now.
The birthday boy.
The birthday boy.
61 and still having fun.
61 and still having fun. You're carrying 61 well, my friend. You really are.
Yep.
Hell yeah. How about you, T? How the hell you been, man?
Man, I've been busy. You can always tell the day by the size of your coffee cup. There you have it. That's what it is.
Yeah, right?
No, working nonstop, driving around town, cruising the apartment complexes, seeing if MS-13's taking them over yet or not. Usual day in paradise.
just the normal stuff. Just the normal stuff.
Normal day.
That's
normal
cool.
Day in the world.
So Saturday was Sue's birthday. So everybody wish Sue a big happy birthday. And how was your birthday, Sue? How was the day for you?
Oh, my birthday was fantastic. We about between 100, 120 people. We had about 4 groups or 4 different, circles of friends that all showed up and everything, and it was great. I got a few great gifts. I got this. I think this was my favorite. It's from a saying from Thomas Jefferson. It says, "When the people fear the government, there's tyranny. When the government fears the people, there's liberty." Thomas Jefferson. Yeah, so I love that one.
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth?
I don't drink anymore, but a lot of people gave me a lot of whiskey and stuff like that, and I got this Sergeant's Valor signed from Brad Halling. So,
oh, nice.
That's pretty nice. That stuff was really smooth. I did partake just a little bit, and
I was gonna say your boys would really enjoy that. Your boys probably really enjoy that whiskey. That's good.
No, I told them hands off. Yeah. But the one mystery gift was the Black Hawk pistol bag. It was bulging out, and I reached in real fast and pulled out the Dickey soap. So this is shaped like a marital aid. It is soap. There was no card with it. It's still anonymous, but I got a couple sneaky suspicions of who gave me that. So all I can say is revenge is going to be sweet.
Well, we can tell which circle of friends it came from because of the bag it was in. So we know the circle of where it originated.
Well, and we got T on here, so he's our marketing for Angery American and the Mountain Readiness. I was thinking, why don't we market something exactly like that? At the bottom, we'll have a long line of anal beads, and we'll call it Ass Hunter Biden soap.
Oh my God! Oh, well, have it soap shaped like that too. Gives a whole new meaning to the term "drop the soap." In the shower. That one would probably go for in prison.
Yeah, well, it doesn't really matter if you drop that soap.
There's Pete.
He's going to prison anyway, so
that's right.
Great. Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
So.
My buddy, everybody heard of LaRue Tactical, not me. That's a guy named Mark LaRue. But his son, Josh LaRue, back in the 2016 election, and election cycle, he actually put a patent on the bobblehead doll that said Hillary for prison. And he made a bunch of money on that. Yeah.
Wow.
That was his bobblehead doll.
Damn. Well, so how'd this birthday stack up? What's your best birthday, and what was your worst birthday, Sue? And how's this one fit in there?
Oh, that's a good question. I think my probably my best birthday was when I was stationed in Baghdad, and we were down at the Battle of Najaf. I really enjoyed that birthday, And my worst birthday was definitely last year when I was in intensive care in Asheville.
That's right. Yeah.
My wife came in and brought me a card and a little gift and everything and said, "Happy birthday." And I was in a lot of pain. And I said, "I need another birthday. Like I need a hole in the head." Then the neurosurgeon walked in and said, "We're taking you downstairs and drilling a hole in your
head." Well, I saw that, but I wasn't sure if that was actually his family. I did see the photo, but I don't know if that was actually Walls' family or not. I think it's hilarious if it's the case. But so we got a little.
Go ahead. I mean, what is it real? Does anybody know if that's real? I hope it is.
I hope it's real too. I've just seen the picture. I haven't seen nothing about it. But Russ put together a little something here for Sue. We're gonna play for you guys real quick. This is a happy birthday to you, Sue.
Happy birthday, Sue.
That's right.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Today is your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Today is your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Today is your birthday. I'm very happy birthday. Happy birthday. Today is very good. Happy birthday to you.
Getting better than that. That's just good stuff right there.
That last one in the apron is hilarious to me.
Tag that there. That picture I tagged it as Baywatch the latter years.
You Baywatch the latter years, yeah. Baywatch retirement.
Right.
That's what I get for sharing any photos with Russ.
That's right. That's what you get, my friend. But no, happy birthday to you, brother. That's I wish I could have been up there and I had some time, but I'm trying to compress what I'm doing before I leave here because I'm going to be going to Troy's Gate here in a couple 3 weeks, and I'm trying to get something done before I leave. So
yeah, man.
We shall see.
Yeah. Did you ever go down that bouncy slide, Sue? That's what we want to know. Did you ever go down the bouncy slide? That's all I want to know. I'm going to take that as a no.
Down. I was.
You were dressed for it. I mean, you were in your swim trunk.
No, but I've been to the emergency room too many times around here, and I was thinking, it's going to be real hard to explain in the emergency room that it happened on a water slide when had some kind of rectal injury.
Yeah, because you would have ended up going down the slide with the soap. That's what would have happened.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely.
My stepson, the ranger, he went down it. He put a bunch of Dawn dish soap all over himself, and he did one of them diving jumps off it and went out the other end and flew into the front yard. Got grass stains in some weird places. Oh, it got stupid.
It got stupid.
I missed
of course
that.
It got stupid.
Dang. Should have stuck around a little longer.
Sue, you should come over to Troy's Gate on the 28th. We're going to have a bunch of North Carolina politicians up there. Patrick, you are the man. Thank you, brother. And John. I didn't say
what's
hi
up, Patrick Seven? I know that guy.
Oh, yeah. Yep. But, you should come up there, man, since there's going to be a bunch of North Carolina politicians up there with a bunch of Florida politicians. So it might be a good time to stop by Troy's Gate.
I will be there. Yeah, I wanted to.
Good.
Are you going to be? You're going to be up there a couple of days, aren't you?
Yeah, I'll be up there for a few days. I'm leaving here on the 26th and get in like be there a day early and, maybe a day or two after. We'll see how it all plays out. But, I'm still waiting on them to tell me where I'll stay in. And I'm going to stay in the same hotel and everything, so we can talk business in the evening too. So.
Heck yeah.
But,
Heck yeah. Richard Bailey. What's going on, Richard Bailey?
Yeah, there he is, popping in the house. Mel's in the house. So I'm guessing everybody's seen the shooting in Georgia today.
I missed it. What happened?
School shooting.
Of course.
2 students, 2 teachers, and the school had received a call telling them that there was going to be shootings in 5 schools in the school district that day, starting at the one where they started, and they didn't do shit about it. Still happened. It still occurred, And
wow. Of course it did. Elections right around the corner, and pews are bad, and we got to make them look as bad as possible.
There you go, Sue. You got Art Heat on there saying happy birthday. We served together at 10th, and you taught me a lot. Thank you. There you go.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember Art Heat. I'm not drawn up, but I had brain surgery. I'm sorry, I can't remember.
Yeah, you do have that very convenient excuse for everything now. Sorry, I had brain surgery. I don't remember. Yeah.
Homestead Medical. What's up, Chuck?
There's Chuck in the house. That's right. But yeah, I noticed immediately after the shooting, of course, the usual suspects are all over everywhere screaming for gun control. Because that's always a problem. Not hardening the targets. Let's not make the schools harder to get into or something like that, and actually protect the people in there.
Yeah.
Instead, let's make it super easy for them to get into.
Yeah, let's do all these guys that are no longer deployed that need a job. Stick them in their places.
Or guys that would even volunteer. There's plenty of dudes that would volunteer to keep schools safe, but they just don't want to do that.
Shit that don't matter is locked down like Fort Knox, but the most important place where our children are at 8 hours, 9 hours a day, it's a free-for-all. Makes you wonder.
Well, don't they actually, aren't there even laws too about being so close to federal politicians while you're armed? And there's something on the books about that too?
I mean, you can't even walk into a bank. You're not even allowed to walk into a bank with a concealed firearm. You can't walk into federal buildings with a concealed firearm. You can't do, but our kids, just left out there to get shot, because that's what happened. That's what happens all the time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's your guy, Sue.
Oh yeah. Yeah. One of our intel guys out there in 10th group. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
He knows who it is now.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
I finally did get one of them M1A ones. I love that. I love those things.
I've got a SOCOM, but I don't have a full-on M1A one. SOCOM. Fib, don't worry. I'll be trolling Hog here probably tomorrow when I see his tweet again. Because that little fucker, I drag him every time he shows up on Twitter. Like there's different laws everywhere. I just found out over last weekend. Me and Mel were in a little basic pistol class, and the guy that was giving it in Florida, the laws on being armed, like you can't. I always thought you couldn't be in a bar because the way the laws are written and the way I read it. But as explained to me, you can actually, if they serve anything at all, if they serve peanuts or potato chips, it's no longer a bar. Now it's considered a bar or grill in Florida. And you just cannot be sitting at the bar while consuming. But you can be in the bar. You just can't be bellied up to the bar, which is weird. But
right. What about drinking? I wasn't clear on some of that. If you actually drink, is that also cause an issue? I think it does if you have to spread some freedom seeds. I think that probably would kind of be bad.
There's no law against being drunk in Florida and being armed. You're not breaking the law of being armed. But if you do get yourself into a self-defense shooting, you're going to have a much harder time dealing with it, probably, because
You're not,
I
you're
love
not
that pistol class.
from personal experience, you're not allowed to drink while you're carrying concealed, because I was in Tampa and I got caught carrying concealed and I got my gun confiscated.
But where were you? What state were you in?
I was in Tampa, Florida.
Really?
Yeah. No court hearing, no nothing. They just confiscated the gun and they said, you can come back and pick this up when you're sober. And it was pretty easy to get back, you know? So,
Now,
that was an officer discretion sort of thing that, you know.
yeah.
But yeah. But yeah, you can actually be hammered drunk. I didn't realize that. You know, not that I recommended or would do that, but you can be.
Probably not a good idea.
Yeah. You know. But it was a good little class, you know. Mel got out there and got some pistol work in. We did a little bit of stuff, so
Keep doing the things.
keep doing the things, getting ready for Mountain Readiness. Hope everybody's getting excited about that because time is getting close.
Yes, it is. Still adding some classes and instructors. We got a intro night vision class going on. Have a few more instructors coming on. Of course, our good friend Donnie Dunn is going to be doing a food preservation class there. Super excited about that. Get Mr. Dunn back in the saddle teaching.
Yeah. Yep. Pete's here giving more advice on that. So yeah, if you get busted with a DUI and property damage injury, yeah, now you're committing a felony while armed. So yeah, bad shit. That's why I don't drink when I'm packing.
Yep.
Stay away from it. Just avoid it. It's easier that way.
Yeah, buddy.
So let's see here. We got something I want to do because as you guys know, Holly does a lot of stuff behind the scenes, but she also manages her husband's music career. He's a bluegrass singer, and he's got a new tune coming out that's aimed right up our alley. And it'll be available September 6th at 12 p.m. Central Time, and it'll be available everywhere you want to find it. So you look for Anthony Bonet, and the title is "That's Just Me." And Russ, cue that up. And
I think boys are boys and girls are girls. It ain't hard to tell. And for them to tell them otherwise, I think there's a special place in hell. I think they ought to get the golden rule. Common sense back in our schools, make it common as it was back then. I think that'd go a long way, making this country great again.
So that's Anthony Bonet. That's Holly's husband, and that new song is "That's Just Me." Will be coming out September 6th. And I want to get a little plug out there for that. I think that's really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah,
He can sing. He got it.
Yeah,
he got that deep voice, man.
he's definitely got that deep voice. Hell yeah, absolutely. Let's see. So keep an eye open for that. And that's like I said, Holly's been working real hard on getting that song ready for them to release and everything. So it's been a big deal, and we want to help them out. And Will was asking about anybody that knows about getting into PD that's work, executive protection, I guess, kind of thing. If anybody has advice for Will, he's looking. Apocalyptic prepper there.
I'd say Mr. Pete Robert Tucci would be the guy to chit chat with his peoples.
Yeah, talk with Pete, and I don't deal in that industry at all, so I don't really have any. I mean, I have some contacts there, but I have to pick them up. But let me see here. I'm just going over some headlines and stuff too. You guys got anything in particular that's sticking out to you other than election crap? We know what's going on there. We don't need to worry about that too much. Of what's that you want to bring up in particular this evening before we get into some other shit?
Yeah, we didn't have a podcast last week, but remember I mentioned that way down in the headlines, or if it was the old newspapers, probably been on page 7. They talked about El Chapo's son inviting El Mayo to get on his plane, and then the DA they left Mexican airspace, landed in El Paso, and the DA picked both of them up. Well, just to show you how embedded the cartels are inside Mexico City, they are going to try to charge El Chapo's son with treason for doing that, for extraditing him to the United States. So if he ever gets extradited back to Mexico, he'll go on charges for treason. And the government raided El Mayo's compound to pick up any kind of evidence that they can get against him. So I just, when we talk, when we talk about these cartels, I think the next administration, no matter who wins, the Mexican drug cartels need to be put on the terrorist watch list. I mean, it's just that bad.
It's retarded that they're not on there yet, and they should have been put on there a long time ago. But the fact that the Mexican feds are willing to charge him with treason for arranging that handover is essentially all he did, says a whole lot about the state of Mexico. That they're gonna charge a dude with treason for handing over a cartel leader.
Yeah, it tells you who's really in charge down there inside the cabinet down in Mexico City. So
yeah, who's really running? And yes, school shootings and election season do seem to go hand in hand, Jason. So I don't know if you guys saw too today. The other thing going on is DOJ has charged a couple of RT Today people with messing around in our elections, and they're claiming that through RT Today, money was funneled into a company called Tenet Media, which has a bunch of conservative people like Tim Pool, a bunch of folks like that on there, and that they were all being used as agents of Russian disinformation. So election season comes around and we get school shootings, always there's election fraud, always, never by the people actually committing it, but by the Russians, of course, and then another Russia hoax thing, Russia. They did it to Trump on the last election. They couldn't do that to him again. So this time they're going to go with, it's the media that has been peddling Russian misinformation. And thank you, Russ, for saying that. And yesterday, Tim Pool filed a lawsuit against Kamala Harris. And then right after the next day, DOJ comes out and files these charges. Tim Pool's suing her for defamation of character. So he files a federal lawsuit against her for defamation of character. The next day, DOJ files charges in which he's named in. So, it's not that we have lawfare. Remember, if Trump gets elected, he'll use the DOJ against his political enemies. That's what they always tell you. So, let me see.
I think it's very interesting. And I'm trying not to get wrapped around the axle, especially when we're so close to the election. I was telling my friends during this weekend, I've gotten out of watching the 24-hour news cycle because it just repeats itself in the morning. You hear the headlines in the morning and they repeat themselves all the way into talking points until 9 o'clock that night.
Yep.
If you're not careful, you just get all amped up and you get a lot of anxiety and you get depressed, or you start throwing things around. But I've noticed in the little bit that I have watched of the elections, of the campaign cycle, that Kamala Harris is doing, and it's not her idea. She's not smart enough to come up with this idea, but her handlers are actually having her repeat. She's following everywhere Trump and J.D. Vance goes. She's there the next day repeating the same message, like oh, it's part of my platform too, or I'm going to
like to keep all your tips.
Yeah, or the newest one is the U.S. Steel was going to sell out to a a company in Japan.
Yep.
J.D. Vance and Trump have been they talked about that months ago, but now Kamala Harris is going into Pennsylvania tomorrow to say, to beat the drum and say, oh, we can't allow this U.S. steel to be sold to Japan. It should stay a U.S. company. Well, she's the vice president of the United States, for God's sake. She should have known that was happening, and she should have stopped that months ago if she really cared about it.
Well, that goes just back to the not wanting to tax tips thing. Trump's came out was saying that, and then she suddenly came out saying that, but then she forget that the internet remembers forever. And I guess she thinks that most Americans, and they probably have, forgot that she cast the deciding vote that passed the bill to tax tips.
Yes.
She was the tiebreaker.
Yep.
So in the Senate. So she, to come out and say, oh, I don't think we should be taxing tips after she was the one that passed the vote that put the damn bill there to start with. It's just sickening to me that these politicians will get up there, lie straight to your face. They look at us like we're ignorant children. Like, as parents, we have to tell our kids little white lies sometimes for, to keep them out of trouble or what's best for them. And that's how they treat us. Like we're just little children, and they'll just tell us one thing with zero intention of doing that. You know what I'm saying? They have no intention of doing what they're saying, but they're just saying it to placate the kids. Is how they act. And it's just driving me insane,
I don't think it's little white lies anymore. It was little white lies years ago. Now it's bald-faced, blatant lies.
Yeah.
It's so obvious that it is a complete kick to the teeth. I don't know. I just can't fathom how here we are in America. We've got, a 2-bit cheap lying whore is running for the presidency, for God's sakes. And she's got the IQ of a pet rock when it comes to anything of importance. She's as bad as Biden. She just doesn't stutter as much. And this is what's running the country. I really just don't know if we actually have a chance at all, at this point. What is everyone going to do is my question when if come election time, Kamala actually gets the presidency. What's everybody going to? I think everybody's going to do the same thing as they did with wearing masks. They're going to put them on with their 1% or 2% or 3% shirt, Patriot shirt, walk into Wally World with their mask on and tuck their tail and do exactly what they were told to do. That's what I think.
Yeah, and you're right. They will, because like you said, especially in America, we're too comfortable and nobody wants to rock the boat, especially the right. Well, the right don't want to rock the boat. The right just wants to keep raising their families and living their lives and be left alone. The left's the one rocking the boat. But the right's eventually got to realize that the boat's being rocked. The water's coming in, and we either start bailing or we all go down together. So some people might have to be elected out of the boat, voted off the island. So it's the only way I can put that. Without breaking
That's a good way to. Too many rules.
And school's back in session. You guys saw the anti-Semitism going on there at Columbia University, and it's several other universities. It's just like they just took the summer off and they're right back at it. Granted, we had Emory on here. Emory will be back. Hopefully, Emory will be back in about 6 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks. But
really, fucker,
I cannot.
Save a message.
What shocks me is that Emory and I talk to each other about once a week, and I'm still shocked at the blatant anti-Semitism in the United States of America. I never thought in my wildest dreams, the country that basically went to Europe in World War II and found those concentration camps, the country that pushed for the Nuremberg trials, and I can't believe the percentage of people that absolutely blatantly hate the Jewish people in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
I'm absolutely shocked.
Well, isn't it even more shocking to you, Sue, to see the level of Palestinian Hamas support in the country? Now, it's primarily coming from the left, because, and the only reason I think they're supporting Hamas is because they're anti-Israel, so the left will immediately go that route. It's all about equity and inclusion and all those things. Unless you're white or Israeli, Jewish, whatever. Then you're not included, and you have no rights, and you don't even deserve to live, in their opinion.
And those young ladies that are out there protesting everything, they jump in their little Subaru that's got that coexist bumper sticker on there, and there's a Star of David right on the damn bumper sticker. So it tells me these kids are going to college. And I don't know what they're learning in college, but it has nothing to do with geopolitical or
socialism. They're learning socialism.
They're stupid. They're absolutely stupid.
They are. They think that every time you bring it up, communism, socialism has never worked everywhere it's ever been tried. And what do they always say? It's never been done right. It's never been done.
Yeah.
It's retarded. I want to get to a couple of the things here. Let me see. Yeah, well, this is one right here. A lot of the revolutionary communists and Antifa types want Trump to win. They're openly talking about voting for him to help usher in their reason for revolution. More power to them. Let them vote. I'm all about it.
That's the best thing I've heard all freaking week, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
Good.
Let me see. There was something up here. All right. Anyway, let me come back down. I'm trying to catch up. All right. Down. This.
It's like that apartment complex in Aurora, Colorado that got taken over by the Venezuela.
That's where we're going next. Yep.
Yeah. Please, hey, all you Venezuelans, all you MS-13, please try that around here. Please do that. Please do that.
Asheville, they probably pull it off.
I haven't filled a body bag in 10 years. I would love to put you in one. Yeah, go ahead. Try that here.
Yeah, it's so there was a video on Twitter, and it was about it was a guy filming his interaction with Aurora, or maybe the Denver police. I think it was Aurora though, and he was wanting to file a report about a crime that had been committed by an illegal alien there. And the cop told him, we're Sanctuary City. I cannot. He's like, I arrested a guy for double homicide. He goes, and they let him go because he's an illegal alien and we're Sanctuary City. So we let the guy go. So I've said it before, and if people don't believe this, then you're willfully ignorant. You're willfully ignorant, or just actually stupid. That your government really doesn't give a shit about you. They don't even want you here. They would rather import replacement voters voters are told and doers are told. That's what they think anyway. I mean, that's how the left thinks. They forget that what happens when you bring those people in here. Stuff like Aurora in New York City. The same things happen in New York. They're taking over entire apartment buildings, And everybody out there saying this is a conspiracy. But there's video of it. It's happening. You can't call this conspiracy.
I saw that the government is working to get illegals approved to be first-time homeowners, help them buy a house. Did you see that?
Oh no! In California, they just passed a bill to give illegals a $150,000 loan for a home that they do not need to pay back unless they sell the house. And we're sure that program will work flawlessly and there'll be no corruption involved in that whatsoever. Right. And all that money will be paid back.
Even if it did, that's the type of shit that just, burns my ass. This is the stuff all of us have scraped and struggled to be able to have a home and have a nice car. And this shit goes on. We're just going to give you $150,000 of tax money from my pocket so that you can get a fucking house. Seriously? Mind blowing. And people think, I hate to say this, it sounds doom and gloom, but you add and you compile all these things together, and people think that Trump winning the election is going to solve all these problems. I hate to say it. I like Trump. I'm going to vote for Trump. But at the end of the day, Trump, Kamala, and all of them, somebody else is pulling the strings, guys. And it's going to end up, it's a every man for himself type of scenario. Or, what you got is what you're going to have. They're giving your money away. What is it? $500 billion to Ukraine, something like ridiculous like that. We're pumping greenbacks out. The ink hasn't even dried before it hits distribution, handing it all over to illegals. And the election, to me, we still have to vote, but I don't think it's going to make a difference. I really don't.
I don't think so either. I want to hit this one right here. Brian Bernard suggested how to implement or how to host supplemental medical scenarios for a church medical team, 10 to 15. Where are you located, dude? What part of the country are you in? And we'll see if we can find an instructor that can get to you guys who will help you out.
Actually,
down here.
He's still Chuck Peoples, Homestead Medical. Chuck, if you're still on here, Chuck travels and does some awesome stuff.
Just what I was gonna mention to him. Because Chuck, I will hit you up tomorrow. I was busy the last 2 days, Chuck, but I'm gonna hit you up tomorrow on Facebook because I got somebody down here wanting to do one too. So we might have another one down here. But let us know where you're at there, Brian Bernard, and we'll figure out who we can get to you to help you out. Let me see.
No, Deanna Rogers just said I could use that $150,000 towards my VA loan. Have you guys seen 2025 VA deficit? $15 billion short. How about that? So not only are we going to give $150,000 homes to illegals, our veterans are $15 billion in the hole for 2025.
Yeah, and wait till the Social Security liability shows up along with that. The hole is deeper than anybody thinks. Will, he was not charged. Colonel was not charged in that shooting, so he got to walk.
Good.
Yeah, they did not charge him. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know. Did you guys think Trump and Kamala, and they've been making some noise about what they're doing security-wise for those two? And did you see when on the clip of Biden the other day saying how, they don't let me come down off the stand no more. He goes, they say it's too dangerous to report.
Is this when he was standing there with his little mini desk and shit?
Yeah, I think that's where that was. The little
he's got a little mini desk. They stuck him out. Looked like something you see in a kindergarten classroom.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, I just want to go live in the swamp. Yeah, me too. Let me see. I'm trying to catch up to the comments here. I'm way up. Yeah. Free. Yeah, and you can call. Brian asked about the training. You probably could talk to your local fire department, EMS folks, and they might be happy to come out and do some training for you too. Buffalo, New York. Ed Orr is up your way. If you could hit him up, he's a firefighter.
Oh, nice. Yeah. That's a good one.
Absolutely. Let me see. Is that deficit VA services or disability payments? Probably both.
I did not state. I actually have the article. I'll send it to you, Chris, and you can check in on it. I didn't go into it. It was just across the board. They're saying they're $15 billion short for 2025. What that equates to for veterans, I mean, who knows? It's bad enough as it is. I'm sure $15 billion short is going to make it a whole lot worse.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And the whole thing is theater. That's a good point right there. And like Will is saying right here, they're saying that this election will be decided by 5 states, and none of those states are red. Although, all of the red states, though, some of the blue ones, like South Florida in particular, is fairly purple. In light of recent events in the country over the last 3.5 years, South Florida is turning redder again. It's losing the blue influence that was happening. I'm not saying it's gone, but we're registered Republicans at like a 2-to-1 rate right now in this state as compared to Democrats.
Well,
So Democrats are losing voters
it's always for the last 30 years. It's always been down to five states. Well, the last election, noticed that 7 states stopped counting in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, they got to counting in the middle of the night, and then they said, "Oh, we're going to stop counting now." And it was all those states that stopped counting were swing states, and it was amazing how close the election was in 2020 in all of those states. So anytime they say, "Oh, we're going to stop counting and take a break," or we're not going to allow overseers or bipartisan people watch the ballot counting, then your radar should go up, and something's wrong, And I'm still convinced. I don't have any way of proving it and everything, but I'm still convinced that something got pulled in the last election that isn't kosher. To if we really knew the truth about it, we probably be a little upset.
We know the truth, Sue. Go watch 2,000 Mules. The truth's out there. And there's a citizen group in Arizona has sued the state of Arizona because the county election supervisors are refusing to remove illegals from their voting rolls. And so these guys are suing they're suing every election supervisor in the state over it, which that is BS. I mean, if our country was working the way it should, and the state says that no, we're not going to take illegals off our voting rolls, the DOJ should step in immediately. Like there should be marshals or FBI agents, and again, I don't trust the FBI today, but I do trust the U.S. Marshals at every polling station, making sure that there's no, fuckery going around. But then everybody would be whining and crying, saying that they sent in, strong tactics and all this bullshit. But no, we're just looking for integrity. You couldn't get into the DNC rally without a photo ID, but they want you to be able to vote without a photo ID in this country.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, everybody makes fun of France and the way things that go on in France, but France was, especially during de Gaulle in the 60s and early 70s, was corrupt. So they went back to just a paper ballot. Why? And we did that in Iraq in 2007, or I'm sorry, 2005. So why we can't just go to a paper ballot and know what the results are the next morning is beyond my comprehension. Anything
like
mail-in ballots, all that stuff's just right for fraud.
You know why? It's a given why.
Yeah. The why is the fraud. That's why. I mean, in Florida, we still use paper ballots, but they're fed into a scanner that scans them. So I don't trust that fucking thing. Because it's already been proven that those election or the voting machine companies are compromised all the shit. That's a fact, and there's no way of getting around.
Hackers, the hacking company, they hacked them in minutes. It was like child's play to get into those things. If these guys could do that, then what do you think all the sophistication of China and all these other countries have? Of course, yeah. I don't know. This election here is going to be entertaining, to say the least. I hope it doesn't go the way I think it's going to go, but if it does, God help us all. That's all I'm going to say.
Hanging chads. Oh, God, I remember that. Hanging chads, yeah. But if you think about it, so then we've had Clinton. I'm sorry, if you just go Obama and Biden, they've had control of the country for 12 years, and then you go back and look Clinton, but you look at the number of years Democrats have ruled and the number of years Republicans have ruled, and it's funny how even right now they're still blaming everything on Trump. Kamala's blaming him for the economy. She's blaming him for inflation. they're blaming for everything when they're the ones that have been in office for the last 3.5 years. But still everything's his fault. And that tells you they have no platform other than pandering to the useful idiots out there. Orange man bad and vote for us because we're not orange man. That's all they got. So it's,
away by how many people are pro Kamala. That's what's killing me. All over social media, I say there is thousands of people who are voting for her, who are talking about how wonderful she is. I do not understand how some low-life, two-bit whore, some hooker, is so popular. Other than that fact, I mean, we're not talking about that popularity. We're not talking about lot lizard popularity. I'm talking about how are people loving this woman. She's a buffoon. She's a liar. When I hear her laugh, it makes my skin crawl. I want to carve my wrists listening to that woman talk. It's sickening.
And she always laughed at the inappropriate moments. You can tell it's when she's embarrassed or it doesn't have a response. She'll throw that little cackle laugh out.
Yeah, that cackling. It is. It's lost. She's completely oblivious. Yeah. That's the oblivious cackle is what that is.
Absolutely. And Brian here saying, if you guys were to move into a new house, would you build for prepping or would you buy something existing and set it up for prepping? Brian, at the current situation in the country, if you're talking about buying between now and the election, I would want something already established because there's a potential it might not get built. Otherwise, I would buy something that's already built.
I'm gonna say, 100%. I agree with you. With where we're at, if you're just starting from the ground up, even if it's an older homestead, I've spent 9 years just getting the dirt around here to grow half-ass decent. I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into that stuff.
Yeah.
There you go. Hey, looky there.
There it is. Right there's the answer.
Buy your tickets, guys. Come 1st of October, the price goes up. We gotta get them tickets sold so we know where we're gonna be at.
Yeah, and let's remind everybody of what we're talking about here. Let's watch this real quick.
Hey folks, this is T, and this is Mountain Readiness.
It doesn't matter what the event is that makes this thing go pop. It's going to be water, shelter, fire, food, security. That's it. That's what you need in a nutshell.
So you guys see the real dates there, but I just want to run it again and remind everybody of what all's going on out there. I mean, tons of classes, tons of awesome people come meet, and just fellowship with like-minded people. Everybody's always asking, where can I meet people, to form a group, or how do I find others that think the way I do? You go to events like that. That's how you do it.
That's it. Yeah. How do I start a homestead? How do I become more self-sufficient? We're teaching it all right there. We've got pistol classes. We've got food preservation. We've got livestock classes. We've got good grief. What all do we have? Tons of classes. It's all included. Camping, hanging out, campfires in the evening. And Joe is doing cool guy stuff for the next umpteen weeks is where he's at. So he's off the grid for a bit.
Fun. The fun of contracts.
He will be there at Fallout.
Yeah, but anybody that does show up at Fallout or Mountain Readiness next spring, you learn so much. I could just go down the list of all the things I learned, and then take it home, try it, see if it works for you, and things like that. And just this summer alone, I've noticed that I was trying to prepare for tonight, but I left the notes on the kitchen table, but I can remember them. But I can say, if you're going to do a garden, don't be picky of what kind of vegetables you like and don't like, because when you do a garden, the ones you don't like your squash and your okra, that's what you're going to have bushel baskets full of, you know.
Yeah, man. I got
What do you
tons
mean?
of okra. I see you did
What do
too.
you mean? What do you mean stuff you don't like squash and okra? Those are the things to like. Those are the good ones, man. Come on now.
I don't like squash. I don't like okra, but I got a bunch of it, you know. So, but
Oh, I like both, man. Yeah,
the one I grossed out my wife with is I showed her. I was telling her, you know, I said, you know, goat poop looks a lot like blackberries, and she goes, yeah, and I said, but they don't taste anything alike. I said, it's not it's not a substitute or an alternative for jam and jellies. Don't do it. And she slapped me.
As she should. Navy 95. I don't know of a company, but there's a few people on here. Kelly Mercer. Kelly, if you could throw up any company you worked with before, there are people that'll rent them and haul them over there. But I think if you Google like RV Airbnb sort of a thing, you might find a company or a site where people will rent you their RV and bring it up, set it up for you. I just can't remember what it's called.
There's a ton. Just Google Statesville, North Carolina RV rentals, and
There you
there's
go.
a ton of people that are doing that. They deliver them. They U-Haul, sleep in the back of it. That works. You can
Absolutely.
even live in that thing. I've done that for a few weeks.
There we go. So Kelly, you bought one. I didn't know you bought one. All right. Oh wait, yeah, dude. Yeah. Never mind. But yeah, that'd be cool. It's gonna be fun having the camper set up down there in our little neck of the woods. It's always a good time. We get our whole own little section of the campground, guys, and that doesn't mean we don't hang out with everybody else, but you know, it's nice to have our own little spot.
That's it. RV share. Yeah, that sounds
RV
familiar.
share. There we go. That's it. RV share. That's the one. So, what do you got going on the rest of the week, Sue? Anything exciting?
I am still working on my outdoor chimney. I got to thinking about it, and I'm trying to dredge some rocks out of the creek that runs in the back of my house, and I ended up with a pile of rocks, and I was like, well, it'd be nice to make an outdoor chimney. So I've got so much sackcrete and cinder blocks in that thing. It's not funny. I'm one of my neighbors brought me a book. I think it was supposed to be a gag gift, but it actually resonated with everybody else at the party. It was How to Finish Your Projects. So was the title of the book. I can't remember who wrote it, but
I need to read that.
I think every
I'm sure.
red-blooded American husband needs that book. Finish Your
Mel's
Projects.
probably on Amazon right now reading that or looking to buy that book for me as she speaks.
Just getting that overnight. No, and I will say, Sue's outdoor fireplace has a very close look to Stonehenge. It's massive. This thing's it's a megalith, is what it is. That's what he's built back there. The thing, you can park a car in this thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here's a good one. We'll discuss this for a few minutes. We'll take this and kind of round the horn here. So he says, what is a major event we should be preparing for in the current climate, and how are you guys preparing for it?
That's good.
What do you think, Sue?
Or Sue.
I'm prepared. My major thing is, like I said, is don't panic. Things are going to go into chaos, but for 3 decades, I went all over the world, going to where there's civil war, talk of civil war, famine, things like that. I've always noticed that the UN comes in with humanitarian aid and food, and that's the way they control the people. So just like we started this whole podcast thinking, you need a self-reliant community. And you need to prepare. If you're just prepared to feed yourself for 6 months to a year, I think that's what you need to really concentrate on, is having enough to eat, to feed your family, take care of your neighbors and things like that, and to not just do it yourself and within, you know, the front door, back door of your own house, but have neighbors and friends that you can trust and be able to feed all them for a year or two. You won't have to go to the re-education camp or stand in line in a refugee camp to get a bowl of oatmeal.
Absolutely. Yep. What about you, T? What do you think's the things everybody should be looking for?
Hi, I'm going with what Sue said. Just to add a little bit, you know, long-term sustainability, guys. And if all you can afford is beans and rice and peanut butter and stuff like that, is it great for you? No. Will it keep you alive? Yes. Is being alive better than being not alive? Most definitely. You need to do what is within your means for your prep. And I love Alan Kay there at the end of the Mountain Readiness video there. You know, fire, shelter, food, security, water. You know, you got to get these things in order now, because preparedness is about being prepared when it gets bad, not dealing with it once it's already went to shit. All right. So if you need to cancel Netflix to have an extra $15 so that you can buy bags of rice and start storing them back, that's what you should be doing, because Netflix is not going to keep your ass alive. The end. It's not going to. So start focusing on these things. No matter, take your budget, figure out how much money can I take out of this paycheck. And yeah, it's not a lot, but it's going to come down to either you do it or you get to explain to your kids why they're going hungry for the next few days, right? Because that's where we're heading to.
Oh, absolutely. You know, and I'm with you guys on that. Like Patrick here, he's like leaning towards mass internet outage or destroyed satellites. There's going to be some destroyed satellites because that Chinese rocket blew up in space for the third time. Turned into about 1,000 pieces up there flying around, so I can knock some satellites down. But for me, it's my biggest concerns are a cyber attack that results in a power outage, the potential for martial law to be declared here because of civil unrest as a result of the election. Those are the two things. And then the last one would be the economy, a major economic issue. So what we're doing is focusing. I'm working on building up backup power right now because, you know, the power grid, for those that haven't worked in it like I did for years, is very fragile in this country, guys. It won't take much to knock it down. And it's super easy to do. So I'm working on backup power. I'm also getting ready to put in a new well, but I'm going to put that one in myself. I'm going to jet one in using a 2-inch like trash pump. And so I'm going to put a 3-inch sleeve in and then an 1.25-inch pipe down that and then a hand pump on top of it so that no matter what, I'll have a way to get water on my property. But my backup power system will also run the well system as well, the pump. So looking at redundancy, I would recommend power, you know, and water is the number one thing, which is why I'm going to put this other well in, because if you don't have water where you are, you're going to have to leave there and go to water. That's just a fact. There's no way around it. I don't care how tough you think you are. You're going to have to leave and go find water. So water being first to me and foremost, and then I would be looking at food, you know, and security. Shelter, if you got a house, you're in pretty good shape. But your PACE plan on your bug-in plan should include, for E on PACE, emergency, a way to bug out and having the means to do so as far as a shelter, portable shelters, and packs for everybody. But like T said to start with, don't black pill yourself. You know, don't just live in doom and gloom, because you know you got to live for today while you prepare for tomorrow. Because you know there may come a time when you're going to need these happy thoughts, happy days to look back on, to kind of pull you through it.
Can I add? Yeah, man, I've had one of them days, man, one of them weeks to where everything is just really starting to irritate me in the world. And I apologize for it, but Can I add something to that, Chris, if you don't care?
Yeah, hell yeah.
So first up top, one of the guys said, "How are you going to store food long term without mice and get it?" Look here,
Yeah.
come to Mountain Readiness. We're going to be teaching you how to do that. There's a class for that. You don't even have to pay. You can actually bring. We're going to put out a materials list. You can bring it with you, and you can actually do it yourself with your own food and the whole deal. Donnie Dunn is going to teach that class. We're super excited. Second, as far as this whole shit hit the fan scenario and what you should be preparing for, let me remind everybody, there is over 2 million undocumented illegals that are currently within our good old United States of America who lived in third world conditions, who are acclimated to living without electricity and good water, without AC. And guess what? They're way tougher than we are. So you need to start preparing yourself for that kind of stuff, because these guys, they mean business. They just take over entire apartment complexes in Colorado and nobody does a damn thing. All right. So you got to be able to fight fire with fire. If you can't go a couple days without air conditioning, you need to learn how to. You can't go sleep on the ground for a couple days, whatever it takes to get yourself hardened up. I was going to talk about this later on, but I'm so excited about this. I just ordered a couple of water purification systems, and I was blown away. I'm going to give the credit where credit's due. Scott Stalling from Prepper Talk Radio had a gentleman on there that actually worked for DARPA, and he created a portable chlorinating device. Did you see these, Chris? These H2Go Global?
Yep. Yes, I have.
$114, guys. $114. This device is literally about 6 inches long, about the size of a Seaux soap. About the size of Seaux soap there. But I did not realize, guys, that I always thought chlorine was bad, was bad stuff. I did not realize that it's derived from salt. Sodium chloride is where chlorine comes from. And all the way up until 1900, people were dying from dysentery, from drinking bad water and these type of stuff. This little thing, check this out, guys. It's H2Go, H2Go Global. This thing is $114. You can use any type of salt, and you punch in how many liters of water that you need to purify, and this thing will make chlorine for you in a little bitty tiny package that is also solar. So I ordered two of these things. These things are mind-blowing, man. Couldn't believe it. So if you're wondering, how am I going to keep enough water on hand, clean water for my family to drink, this is it, guys. This thing is tiny. It's like literally a little bit bigger than your hand. There you have it. All the clean water you can drink, purified, kills up all the bacteria, the whole deal. So, hey, throw that out there for all you guys that are looking, maybe you live in the city or places that don't have water readily available, like Sue and I back in the, in the sticks. That there, man, is a game changer as far as I'm concerned.
And one more question on water here, Jason Cullen. Look into solar jack pumps for your well. They make pumps specifically designed to run off solar. And instead of trying to build a solar power station to run your well, you might be better off to replace your well with a solar jack pump, and then you don't have that problem. So something else to consider. Let me see here. I'm just getting down to the bottom of these comments, and then what was this? Yep. So, all right, guys. I guess that's about it for tonight. Like Sue says, don't live in fear. Don't live in doom and gloom. You live your life to find the joy that life is meant to be. Life's supposed to be lived and not endured. So spend time living, but spend time preparing too. What the hell is that linked to? No idea what that is. But spend time preparing, but live for today. Head up, eyes up, head on a swivel, pay attention to what's happening around you, keep informed. How do I feel Mount Dora would fare? I think not too bad. Just plenty of water. It's all going to be about who do you have around you, and there's some groups in this area. Might not be a bad idea to start rubbing shoulders with a little bit, Sue, what do you got for them tonight? We send everybody to bed with.
I got two things. Number one, it's just as soon as this is school start, so we know Christmas season's coming up. All of us waste a ton of money every Christmas buying junk for everybody in the family, right? So like T was talking about, we got to budget things like that. Just do yourself a favor and budget for survival this year and make it fun. Make it a Christmas fest. Whatever, go down the list of what you need, whether it's food, water, shelter, whatever, security, maybe a commo plan or something like that, or a bug out bag. Make those your Christmas gifts this year, and seriously consider running that credit card up for stuff that you could actually use in a natural or man-made disaster. Second thing is, don't brag to the neighbor. We all have them. I got some just across the driveway here. We all have neighbors that that are going to turn you in and things like that. Don't brag to these people about what you're doing, because they'll be the first ones to turn you in, So,
or be at your front door wanting something when things go bad,
Yep. And that's a question for you, Chris. I mean, should I walk over there and knock on their door and say, when things go bad, don't come to my door? Should I say something like that? Or, just pre-warn them, or just leave it alone?
Well, you got a gate, don't you? Right?
Pardon?
You got a gate on your driveway, right?
Yeah.
Close the gate. They should never get near your house, because if they hop the gate, well, now they got fucking problems, don't they? So yeah. I'll leave it at that. That's how I handle that. T, what about you, brother? What do you got?
Disagree. I think that Sue the picture of him in a loincloth covered in mud, he should reenact that and walk around his yard where the neighbors can visibly see him doing that, maybe with a big hatchet or a machete. And that there will end that issue right out the gate.
No, he should do that once it's time to butcher those goats. That's what you do. You just drag one of them dead goats and you hack its head off with a tomahawk or something, and just drag it around the yard with you.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah.
Walk over there with the head of the goat and ask them if they have an extra plastic bag or something like that. Just knock on the door. Hey, I'm out of trash bags. Do you happen to have one? Could I borrow a trash bag? Something like that. But no, hey guys, simple, plain. Prep for your budget, but start doing it. If you have not started this, guys, it's not too late, but you are getting dangerously close, right? And you don't want to be caught with your pants down, especially when the Sue's running around with bars of soap like that. It's a bad gig. Don't do it. And if you have the extra money, train. Freaking train. Come to Mountain Readiness. I got Nick Beecher is going to do a basic intro comms class as well. If you're wondering how to use your bow thing, which I am, I'm going to go see Nick. I'm going to take this class myself. Go out there and train. Do the things, because I fear the way the laws are. You remember earlier this year, the whole you couldn't, tactical rifleman was even worried about not being able to train anymore because the government was going to, it's going to happen. It's going to happen to where we will not be able to assemble and train anymore, at least not legally. So take advantage of it while you can and build those alliances right now with like-minded people, which you can do at Mountain Readiness, because once the bubble pops, then people ain't going to be friends no more. Whoever you made those alliances with now, That's what you're shooting for. You don't want to try to do this after it's all said and done. And that's it.
Yeah, it's you got to put the seatbelt on before the accident, folks. You know, you're not fast enough to get one around you and snapped in before you hit the ass of that truck in front of you. So, oh, Scott, what's up, brother? Scott Slack, Confusion, good dude. Howard, I wish I had you where you could talk, Scott, because he's over in Turkey right now. That would be an interesting discussion. That's where he is currently stationed. And if you guys don't listen to the Council on Future Conflict podcast, I highly recommend you do so. And you can look this guy right here at Scott Slack Confusion on X. Follow him there and check out the Future Conflict podcast. They're really good guys. Or the pockets on Future Conflict. So, sorry, my head's a little out of whack right now. We had an increase. All right. So that's all we got tonight, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. So glad you had a good birthday, buddy. I wish I'd have been there. And I guess I'll hopefully see you on the 28th, thereabouts, in them neck of the woods in Lenore. So I'll be up there for sure.
I will be there. All right.
Awesome. All right, guys. You know the drill. Be good at it. We'll catch you next time.